Hello everyone, this is Hiron bringing you a 1v1 match between Trump and DCRodrigo on Delta Quadrant. DCRodrigo is spawning as the red Protoss at the bottom right, and Trump is spawning as the blue Terran at the top left. As I mentioned, the map is Delta Quadrant. I've heard it referred to as a 4-player Steps of War because this rush distance between the two maps is so short. No matter what spawning location you're at, you see here to here, short, cross spawn, short. Anyways, an interesting feature of this map is the expansion that is only accessible from the main, and it has this destructible debris guarding it. This map was not available during the beta phase. It was new with the release of the game, so I have not seen a whole lot of games on it just yet. It looks like we will be seeing standard play from both players. No pylon or no probe moving out to place a proxy. Pylon, no SCV moving out for a proxy barracks. And there is the 12 racks from Trump and the 12 gateway from DCRodrigo. So could not be more standard for either player. Probe and SCV moving out at roughly the same time to go scout the other player's base. Simulator at 13 for DCRodrigo, and Refinery at 13, it looks like, for Trump. It's pretty much following the same build order, even though they're playing two different races. And I'm guessing that Trump has this time so that after his first Marine is built, he will have enough gas for an add-on. Probe from DCRodrigo just getting in. Really wants to see what Trump is doing with this barracks. If he sees a tech lab already up and a unit already being produced, then he would probably assume a Reaper is on the way. And then he would be in trouble. The biggest sign of a Reaper would be a 9 racks with a gas. That almost always means a fast Reaper. Marine from Trump going to try to chase this probe out. Oh, but of course the probe is faster than the Marine and will be able to evade it until a second Marine is on the field. Switch to the protection tab here, and a Stalker is on the way for DCRodrigo. And because there's not a Reaper on the way, he can go ahead and not chrono boost that. Instead, chrono boost his Nexus and get more workers. As you can see, he does have a worker advantage in the early game because of that chrono boost. When the mules are on the field, they even up the mineral income for Terran players. Now the second refinery is up as well, or on the way rather, as well as the second barracks, so likely see tech lab on this barracks. You can see warp gates are being researched, and whoa, we have a fast expansion from DCRodrigo. Gutsy move on a map with such a short rush distance, but if it goes unpunished by Trump, it will lead to a good advantage going into the mid game. And there's a tech lab and a Ghost Academy going up for Trump. Ghosts, of course, are very good against Protoss with their EMP. And we have 2 more gateways on the way, so a 3 gate from DCRodrigo into the fast expansion. Handful of Marines already for Trump. And building even more, and there's the first Ghost. Gas is a little high for this early in the game, but I'm not going to question Trump as he is 1,000 times better than I am. Stim packs also, so we'll be seeing, likely be seeing the upgraded Marines with Ghosts. Would no doubt if we saw those combat shields as he is investing in these Marines so heavily. Probe moving up here, and although he did not get into the base, he saw this ball of Marines, so it does let him know most of Trump's army composition. And these gateways are just being morphed into warp gates. It only takes 10 units time for that to happen, and he will be able to warp in units at here, as he is doing right now. So he has 7 stalkers on the field. and now he's getting his second assimilator, and the first assimilator at his expansion. Marines and that ghost moving out, and they're gonna probably take this probe out. That is at the Zelnaga watchtower, and it looks like they are going to move out towards DCRodrigo's base and try to make a push on this expansion. Does he know about it already? No, he does not know about this expansion yet. But DCRodrigo having the unit composition and army size to hold off Trump's push. Trump simply not having enough Marines to deal with all of the stalkers and the zealots. And we have a starport and a factory is already built and a starport coming up. There's a tech lab on that factory. I'm not really sure what Trump is going to be doing here. If he's going to move this tech lab to that starport, more likely to see medevacs out of the starport and siege tanks out of this factory. So Trump going for a wide variety of units out of one base. It's not expanded yet, so he is quite behind, I believe, in not quite behind yet, but he is going to be a little oversaturated as he continues to produce SCVs while DCRodrigo is mining off these mineral patches here as well. We'll see him pull further and further ahead in the mineral, as well as Vespine if DCRodrigo chose to utilize all these. He does have 3 simulators up, so he is pulling ahead in the Vespine gas. And we have a 6, 7, 8 zealots for DCRodrigo and 9 stalkers. Trump again moving out to this Zelnaga watchtower and just hanging out here. Smoke prevents DCRodrigo from seeing those units unless they go inside the smoke, and Trump can see any push being made by DCRodrigo. Rallying first tank and Marauder. I definitely see Marauders being effective against this unit composition, although they do not have concussive shells, which should make them very effective against those zealots. And we have a little engagement going down, EMP going off, catching a few of the zealots and a couple of stalkers. Trump stimming up and trying to kite the zealots. Zealots getting in, killing one of the ghosts. DCRodrigo pulling back, warping in 4 more zealots, and it looks like those reinforcements were just in time to help hold this off. Most of the Marines are going down, trying to stim and do some more kiting action. But it looks like DCRodrigo is going to hold this off, and Trump is going to be forced to retreat. And Trump finally getting this expansion up. Go back to the production tab. You can see DCRodrigo has 12 more harvesters, way ahead in the income. And now DCRodrigo is getting a Colossus, which is devastating against those Marines, as well as the Thermal Lance upgrade. First Colossus is out. He still has several zealots and stalkers, and he is going to push on to Trump's base. Trump realizing that he is in trouble, trying to get up a couple of bunkers, but it does not look like these are going to be in time. This very late expansion not helping Trump out at all. It's a little all-in-ish off of one base. And those Colossus and Zealots are just going to melt these units, and Trump GG's. So the fast expansion for DCRodrigo really paying off going into the mid game, able to macro up a lot of units off of 4 gateways and that robo facility. Trump going for a sort of all-in-ish build. It's not really a build I'm familiar with. This 2 racks factory starport off of 1 base. That late expansion never got up and running, and in the end, DCRodrigo just overwhelmed Trump. And that concludes this commentary. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to Hiron StarCraft. Hiron out.